The Trump administration says it will pause SNAP benefits for people in states controlled by Democrats over data requests. The administration says it's because many states are refusing to provide information, including the names and immigration status of those enrolled in the program. A spokesperson from the U.S. Department of Agriculture says Washington state is one of the states at risk of losing SNAP benefit funding. The Trump administration says it wants to collect the data of everyone involved in the program because it says it wants to try and stop fraud. New requirements for the program kicked in on Monday. It raised the age limit from 54 to 64 for people who are required to work, train, or volunteer 80 hours a month to receive help, among other changes. Veterans and those experiencing homelessness will also fall under that mandate. The Congressional Budget Office believes these changes could reduce the number of recipients by more than 2 million people over the next decade. Last month, Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins claimed her agency found nearly 500,000 people collecting SNAP benefits in more than one state. Because of that, Rollins says all SNAP participants will need to reapply for benefits in order to stop the alleged fraud. To get an idea of the impact on people here in Washington, we're joined now by the director of the Stanwood Camano Food Bank, Sam Norris. Thank you for being here, Sam.
Thanks for having me.
When you hear about this policy, what's your initial reaction?
Yeah, learning about it today, just initial just sadness for the working families and the retirees who are losing this lifeline, and concern for the emergency food support system. We're designed as a supplement, and it's we're really not designed to be a replacement for SNAP.
Well, we're coming out of a government shutdown where resources were already stretched. If funding is withheld for weeks, does your food bank specifically have the capability to fill in the gaps in your community?
We, got a taste of this, like you said, in the government shutdown, and between the first week in October and the first week in November, we saw a 35% increase in people using our services, many for the first time. The Stanwood Camano community is remarkable and stepped out and stepped up to support us, and so we did, have plenty of resources, and the challenge, I think, just comes with, the long-term sustainability, and this food bank is pretty well resourced, and 35% was significant long-term. If that increases, capacity is constrained. The Washington State Food Bank network system saw 13 million visits, 1 in 4 Washingtonians in 2024. That number is projected to be 15 million this year. That's without any increases to SNAP, and without cuts to SNAP, and that's an unprecedented amount of need. And so, this organization will be okay, and our community will continue to step up and support those who need us. But there are a lot of food banks, in Snohomish County included, that have no paid staff, are run entirely by volunteers, and they will see a more significant pinch for sure.
What lessons were learned during the month-long government shutdown?
Well, I think it was an opportunity for us to see where capacity can be increased. The challenge is that, we're a small, lean operation. All food banks are. And so for us to be able to make structural changes to how our operation works, to be able to serve a significant increase, one that's unprecedented just in normal times, but with SNAP cuts especially, it's going to take time for us to, build out more refrigeration and build more capacity into the systems by which we serve people. And so we know what direction we need to head in, but to be able to pivot on a dime, so to speak, within a week of needing to serve potentially another 35 to 50% more people, the lesson our takeaway is just be kind and be patient and be supportive, and we're here for it. This is what we're here for, but yeah, it's we want to. These are unfathomable things. Cutting SNAP is just not something we would ever have expected.
Well, it kind of sounds like deciding to build a house and then wanting to move in the next day. You got to lay the foundation first. Infrastructure, obviously a big issue. How are you guys preparing for the current holiday season?
We're, today's Giving Tuesday, and so our community is stepping up and donating. The cash donations go the furthest for us. We are able to leverage those in bulk buying power. We buy perishable goods that the community needs the most that we serve. Dry goods are great, and those can come from food drives, which have also been really successful. But we work with the Snohomish County Food Bank Coalition, and together we as a coalition of food insecurity organizations buy in bulk. So we're soliciting donations, stocking up, leveraging, as a network, a coalition of organizations, all of our capacity to support each other. And continuing to do outreach. We want people to come. We want people to use the food bank, especially if you've never used it before. We all operate, with dignity at the forefront. So this is meant to be an experience that one can access and not feel shame or otherwise feel bad about coming to visit the food bank. So it's a busy time of year for us. The holiday season just is busy. So I think our preparation is to just keep stocking up and make sure we're there for the community.
How can people help? What's the best way right now, Sam?
Like I said, I think really donating cash and it's, that is the greatest way for us to be able to source the product, make sure we can get it in the door. It's the perishable products. We adhere to strict food safety protocols, and so all of that we source from wholesalers. We buy in bulk, we stretch that dollar really far, but those, the frozen proteins, the fresh dairy, the fresh produce, those are the commodities that the community really needs, and so we source those wholesale. So if you're interested in making a significant impact, I'd recommend donating to the Snohomish County Food Coalition in Snohomish County. We as a coalition of food banks leverage bulk buying power. We buy truckloads at a time and stretch that dollar really far. If you can't give financially, I'd really recommend just reaching out to your food bank, seeing if they need volunteers. If you know neighbors, if you know anybody in your community who's feeling the pinch, feeling tight financially, and might be concerned about going to a food bank or reaching out for services, I would advocate and suggest that they really do reach out to us, inquire about getting services. We're here to be supportive. We're here for this time, and we want people to feel comfortable coming to the food bank.
Sam Norris, thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.